Alright, hey guys, and welcome back to another video here on the channel, and here we have podcast number 4. I don't know, I think we called this, I honestly don't know what we called this. Well, anyway, I'm joined by Scarf today. How you doing, mate?
Not too bad, my friend. How are you today?
Not too bad. Yeah, a rogue podcast. So this is a rogue podcast number 4. This time we are with Scarf09, or what we like to call Scarf09, of course.
Calm down.
He likes to be called Scarf. He loves Scarf. You know, I just thought, you know, as we do with these podcasts, you know, answer some of your questions. You know, definitely want to, you know, get, you know, person he is, you know, deep down. We like to have a bit of a talk with Scarf. I know me and Scarf, we like to banter during the streams, don't we?
100%. We love to banter, mate. It's all about getting a laugh and making sure that everyone has a laugh with it as well. So
exactly. And I think it's a good way to start off with is I know a lot of people are interested in how people actually got into YouTube or, you know, streaming in general. So, like, what's your untold story?
My untold story. So my untold story probably might have started maybe a couple of years ago with Battlefront 2. Obviously, you know, I wouldn't say I was probably a half decent player when it first came out, if that makes any sense.
Yeah.
So
well, I know,
just had
like,
one of my...
Yeah, we used to like verse each other, like even before we started talking to each other. Like we used to always like fight, like meet up in Battlefront 2, like, you know, in the HEV and Hero Showdown.
Oh, you used to anyway, and it used to be great battles. Like yourself was probably my second best person I love to go against, if that makes any sense.
Yeah.
Because my favourite person was Sammy Boy. I used to love having duels with Sammy, if that makes any sense. Anyway.
He's a great player as well, Sammy.
Because I'm like a Ric Flair type thing. If you want to be the best, you got to beat the best as well. So, but when I actually started, I had one of my good mates on my PlayStation just said to me, you should just start having a YouTube video and start doing YouTube. And I was just humming and hawing until about a few months back, and then I just started, you know what, who cares, I'm going to have a crack at it and do it, if you know what I mean.
No, yeah, it's fair enough. Like, I know you're like a big part of the community as well. Like, especially since you've started streaming, you know, since you know, broadcast your voice out there. I know a lot of people love your, you know, your, I'm gonna say a bogan Aussie accent. Like we all love a good bogan Aussie accent, don't we?
Oh, like I say, you know, obviously I'm not a bogan, but it probably comes out like that way, if that makes any sense. So, yeah, I just want to have a bit of fun and just get a laughter and get people smiling every day. That's just pretty much me every day of the week anyway. So. Well,
exactly. That's what YouTube is. You know, it's like you're not in this for the money. You're not in this for, like, you know, the views. It's like, you know, I've probably told the story a million times by now. But like, I started YouTube because, you know, Battlefront 2015 started. You know, I was like, I was humming and ahhing, and maybe I should do it then. I probably should have done it then, like, in retrospective. But then you know, Battlefront 2 got announced. I was like, oh, maybe, you know, this is going to continue. Maybe I should, you know, I like playing this game. Maybe other people might like watching it. I never thought I'd get to this point, you know, 3 years later, 2 channels later, 4 name changes later, you know.
Well, you just mentioned 2015, like Battlefront 2015. Like, I actually did buy it. Actually, I've never played the game. I bought it for about 2.5 years. It was still in its plastic wrapping. Before I bought a 4 terabyte external hard drive for my PS4, and I was like, I'm gonna start adding all these games on there. So yeah, I still have not played Battlefront 2015 yet. So,
jeez, man, holy damn. Well, I think we'll get into some questions now, because I know there's a lot of questions that I've been wanting to know. You guys, some of these questions are from the last podcast, but, you know, we have a new person with us here. We have Scarf. You know, everyone obviously has their own opinion on, you know, different things. So I think it's always nice to get, you know, even if it's the same question, to get different people's opinion. I know Scarf has some great opinions as well, as you all should know. So I think the first one is, of course, we have to ask this every stream. And I think I already know the answer to this one. Ren, who of course we all love Ren.
100%, yep.
He says, do you think there's going to be a Battlefront 3?
I've said from the start when they did the announcement, I don't think there will be a Battlefront 3. I think, in my opinion, I think EA is pretty much more focusing on the Battlefield franchise more than what they're going to be focusing more on the Battlefront franchise. That's just my opinion personally. If there was going to be another multiplayer, I think Respawn is in the prime position after the success of Fallen Order. So
Right. So I think the next question, well, my question is, do you think there'll be a maybe not a Battlefront, but a Battlefront style-esque game in the future?
I hope so. Anyway, I'm hoping so. I'm hoping that's what they're going to be leaning towards. So that's what I'm hoping for anyway. Whether we get a combination of 2015 and Battlefront 2 in a newer style of multiplayer, we just have to believe it till we see it, if that makes any sense anyway. Especially with the release of the PS5 and the new Xbox X Series and whatever PC does anyway, if that makes any sense as well. So
no, that definitely makes a lot of sense. Like, it's no doubt, like, I honestly think that, Battlefield's a great, it's a great, franchise. I just think, I've always thought, if Battlefront 3 ever did get made, obviously Battlefront 3 is not going to be made by DICE because, recently, just this week, Dennis Bramwell is, like, not coming, it's like he's leaving DICE, and he was definitely one of the big influences on the Battlefront team. The Battlefront team is basically split up at this point, gone to different places, gone to different jobs. Some of them have stayed at DICE, but I just think this is like the nail in the coffin to say there won't be a Battlefront 3 from DICE.
I 100%. I don't think DICE. Like I say, I've always on the belief that Respawn is in the prime position after EA play last year. Was it, Benj?
Yes.
When they more talked up Jedi Fallen Order than what they did about Battlefront 2 anyway. So.
Well, no, because we didn't have an EA play this year because of obviously everything that happened.
So it was last year. So
and of course with the release of Fallen Order, definitely a major boost for Star Wars games because everyone loved Fallen Order. I know you yourself, you haven't obviously finished it yet. As we're recording this, it's actually the 1 year anniversary of Fallen Order tomorrow.
True.
But Fallen Order 2 is basically confirmed at this point. I think it was definitely just not the gameplay wise, but the story wise. I think is what everyone has been wanting for in a Star Wars game. That's just what I believe anyway. And there's some great moments in there as well. I don't know how far have you actually gotten up with that one?
I can't remember at the moment. I'll play up to maybe the one or first phase. I can't remember anyway. So.
Yeah, fair enough.
It has been a while since I've actually sat down and play it because I just downloaded Shadow of War, so I'm actually starting to play that a little bit as well. So
yeah, I've just downloaded that as well. It's got a lot of that Middle Earth stuff.
Especially with obviously Lord of the Rings and that could be another subject we might talk a bit later. But I haven't actually done it all anyway at the moment. I ain't planning to do it. It's just a matter of just trying to find the time to do it, if that makes any sense anyway.
No, exactly. And I think we could do a whole podcast just talking about Middle Earth and Lord of the Rings because I know we're both fans of that franchise as well.
100%, yeah.
And we might actually do that at some point as well. Maybe get some other people in here. There's a lot of Middle Earth fans out there, especially subscribe to the channel as well.
Well, the other thing is, like, obviously I'm a big supporter of your channel and a lot of other channels, but the other channel that I love looking at is that Men of Earth on YouTube.
The Men of the West?
Yeah, the Men of the West. I actually just like understanding the backstories, if that makes any sense anyway. So
yeah, guys, if you're Middle Earth fans, if you're Lord of the Rings fans and you like the lore, go to Men of the West. They're a great source for that kind of stuff. But getting back onto Star Wars, so we'll go through some more questions here.
Sure.
So we have Force Lord. He says, "What is your favorite Star Wars scene?" Now, last week, I'm just going to quickly go through my answer. Is obviously, I went through 3 answers. My top 3 were in no particular order. The duel of Mustafar with Anakin and Obi-Wan, obviously.
Yep.
Great scene. The Vader scene at the end of Rogue One, obviously, great scene. And Return of the Jedi actually was between Vader and Luke.
When the Death Star.
Yeah, the crescendo rises up, and just as Luke's pummeling Vader. And the crescendo rises. I think that's just a great scene. It almost brings me to tears every time. But what about you? What's your?
We'll say is it 1 or 3?
We'll say top 3 because I think it's hard to narrow it down to one.
Me number 1 because my favourite all-time Star Wars movie is Empire Strikes Back because I am an 80s. I was born in the 80s, so So yeah, so I brought up on the original trilogy. It's got to be Luke, I am your father scene, when you actually find out that Luke Skywalker is Darth Vader's father, especially when Star Wars 4, 5, and 6 actually first come out. If you know what I mean, you're like, oh, you get that little bit of suspense. If you know what I mean. So that's always my number one, because that's just my favourite movie in Star Wars in general. The other two you can't go past, because this might be a little bit out there, would be the Princess Leia scene in Return of the Jedi, when she's in the bikini. So I'm sorry, you just got to go there, if that makes any sense anyway.
Wow. Yep, fair enough.
You just got to go there, see our young Carrie Fisher, if you know what I mean. So
yeah, fair enough. Our princess, of course.
100%. And then I might even go a little bit out there with this one. I would say the duel between Qui-Gon Jinn, Obi-Wan Kenobi, and Darth Maul in Phantom Menace.
That is it's a great scene, because it's choreographed. It's not as choreographed as the way, the obviously the duel, the lightsaber battles in the original trilogy were, but they're definitely not faked.
Nah.
You could definitely tell. Oh yeah, they could actually move like this. It's not visual effects and everything else. Of course, there was that part of it, but I think there was definitely there was some realism to it.
To me, it's more of the transition between Obi-Wan becoming an apprentice to also transitioning into a master, when he becomes Anakin Skywalker's master as well. So it's that transition phase. Like two apprentices are going after each other in the end, at the end of the scene, you know what I mean. So with Darth Maul being obviously Palpatine's apprentice, and then you got Obi-Wan being, that's sort of like two apprentices going after each other. So
yeah, of course. Well, I think this one transitions into our next question, which comes from Brody, of course, a mod on the channel. Says, what is your favorite Star Wars line? Now, I think this is probably gonna basically, your favourite Star Wars scene is your favourite Star Wars line, isn't it?
Well, 100% it is. So, Luke, I am your father, and straight after, when you actually hear Luke with the surprisal, and the surprisal, that's a new word of the day, Benj. It'll be, he's no, and it's like a sad, like the way Mark Hamill actually presented it, acted it, you know what I mean? Showed it off to say, no. It's just those two, just that bit there. If that makes any sense anyway.
No, yeah, definitely. I know. I was watching a documentary. I think I said this in the last one. But I was watching a documentary of The Empire Strikes Back, or it was either Return of the Jedi as well. But when people came out of that, they actually didn't believe Vader, because everyone's thinking, oh, he's the big baddie, but he's not. He's there's a bigger baddie. Obviously the Emperor. But maybe he's just taunting Luke. Maybe he's just trying to get him to come to the dark side, and that is the reason George Lucas had to put Yoda in there and actually say, no, he is your father, because no one believed it. Apparently people have gone to psychiatrists to say no, it's not possible, he cannot be his father. But of course, then that is the reason why he put Yoda, he put Yoda in, because obviously Yoda doesn't lie. He's he's the Grand Master and everything. So I think that was I think that was quite funny that he had to do that.
Well, and it is a very, very iconic scene as well too. So
no, definitely. But yeah, so we'll keep moving on.
I'm waiting for a Lily question. That's what I'm waiting for anyway. So
well, we can do Lily's question. It's pretty out there. I think we did this one last week, but we always got different opinions. This one's about X-Men. Out of everything. So Lily, if you're watching this, who is your favorite X-Men, and what would your power be if you were one of them?
So my favorite X-Men has always been Cyclops.
Right.
I think a lot of people will pick Wolverine, but
Hugh Jackman, mate. Hugh Jackman, you don't love
true,
him.
But I was always a Cyclops man anyway. He shoots, obviously his laser, everything out of his eyes. You know what I mean? And obviously because I'm an Oakley man, like just wearing Sunnies, Oakley Sunnies, and then actually in the movie trilogy, the original movie trilogy, he also had Oakley Sunnies as well. And they were red. Red's my favourite colour as well. So yeah, no, it's got to be Cyclops for me anyway. So
No, yeah, fair enough. And what would your power be as well?
I think I'd actually would be Storm. I love the weather. I'm fascinated with weather.
Yeah, so control the weather.
So control the weather.
Yeah, that's a pretty decent one. I like it. Now we have probably a very, I don't know, love and hate question here from Luke G0, who is of course very common on the channel as well. Now I know you're probably going to have a big banter about this one.
I'm waiting for it now.
Do you think The Last Jedi is as bad as people say it is, and why the other sequels did better? I'm going to get you to start off this one.
Do you want me to start this one off? I actually think that Force Awakens and Last Jedi was just plain shit. I'm sorry. The saving grace was Rise of Skywalker, personally. Even though, like, even before the month before it come out, like, George Lucas had to come in and try to save it, if that makes any sense. Anyway.
I agree. The Rise of Skywalker, despite its flaws, is definitely the best of the sequels.
And then at the end of the day, you kill a protagonist who's a clone that you find out it's a clone in the third one, but you don't actually understand the backstory of Snoke, if that makes any sense to anybody out there. It's just, like I say, to me that's not Star Wars. Especially, like, even in Force Awakens, like, yes, we find out that Finn's got Force abilities, but who's Finn? Why is he picking up a lightsaber? Taking on Ren, in Force Awakens. But this is obviously due to The Last Jedi. I thought the way they actually got rid of Luke, or Luke dies, was... I'm sorry, it wasn't Star Wars in my opinion anyway, so... That's just my opinion anyway, so I'll just yeah.
No, fair enough. I think, like, Rian Johnson definitely, tipped... he wanted to go out there. Like, I commend him on trying to, break the mold of Star Wars, but he broke it and snapped it. I know that this is a very controversial topic. It always will be, I believe.
It always will be. Like, yeah, fair enough. Like to me, I'm a original trilogy man. I've always said that I am original trilogy, and then you got the prequels, which gives you an understanding of Darth Vader, or how he got tormented to be Darth Vader, if that makes any sense. And then what was going to be 7, 8, and 9? You know what I mean? Like, you got, like, Kylo Ren being Kylo Ren, then he turns it back into Ben Solo.
Yeah, I agree. Like, I'm pretty sure I said this last week as well. Like, it seemed as if they weren't going, like, there was no storyboarding or anything. They were like, yeah, let's shoot this scene and then we'll figure out the next scene, like, when we come to it. It was very jumbled, I have to say, especially with The Last Jedi. There's no doubt in saying this, is that the Rise of Skywalker tried to fix what The Last Jedi did. There's no doubt in saying that.
100%. Actually, no. I actually would say they actually try to save both the two movies, if that makes any sense anyway. Because A Force Awakens was
a rehash of Episode 4.
It pretty much was, and it's just, if you're gonna say Last Jedi was terrible, then The Force Awakens is not far off as well too. So, and that's just also, once again, that's also my opinion as well. So,
and the fact that they had to bring Palpatine back to save it, I think, because he obviously is. Everyone said, like, Star Wars is what George always said, that Star Wars was Anakin's, story. Not the Skywalker saga. It's Anakin's fall, rise, fall, become Darth Vader, rise and fall again. And it with the sequels, that really doesn't happen. It's more Palpatine's story now, isn't it? The way
Well, 100% anyway.
he rises
Well,
to
100%.
power, the Empire rises, the Empire falls, but he's still there.
Well, when you actually think about it, like, the prequel series was based around Anakin. The original was about Luke. Then, was this about Palpatine, or was this about Leia? Does that make sense? Does that make sense to yourself as well? Like, which one was it in the sequel trilogy?
And all due respect to Carrie Fisher, like, gotta love her.
100%.
You know, if she didn't pass away, I think she would have had a bigger role. Because of course she was, you know, a lot of those scenes in The Rise of Skywalker were from, you know, deleted scenes or, you know, cut up versions of The Force Awakens.
Yeah.
You know, and I'm glad that they didn't go the CGI model route, because, you know, it worked in Rogue One. You know, but she was, you know, it was for one scene, like one word. I think that worked for that fine. I don't think there was any disrespect there, but I think you know, she went peacefully. I think I liked the way she went. You know, she gave up her last life to try and save her son. I think that was a nice send off to her. You know, she's always thinking about others and not herself.
True, but then it comes back to the same theory, like Vader throwing Palpatine off of the Death Star in Return of the Jedi as well. You know,
Exactly.
You know? So
it's like
it's very, very, very similar.
Exactly,
in
and
the way you actually described it. So
yeah, it's like, who is the chosen one? Because I know there's been a lot of theories about the chosen one. Of course, we have Anakin, and then like there's always this there's this theory of there is no chosen one. There's like a chosen person. Like during the, of course we have, you know, because of course this is my theory, right? I'm just gonna state my theory. I don't think I've ever said this before. So, in the prequels, the Jedi are like the Force to be reckoned with, right? There's like, you know, the Sith are in, you know, in retreat, like they're in hiding, right?
yeah.
So, you know, the Jedi are in power, so there's too much light and there's not enough dark. So Anakin came in the picture and he, you know, basically pushed the curve to the dark side, right? He pushed it too far. Then the twins were born. Luke became the Jedi, and Leia, you know, didn't become a Jedi at that point. So that was balanced, right? Those two were balanced. So one was a Jedi, one wasn't at that point. Luke, you know, then basically brought his father back, and, you know, Anakin defeated Palpatine, right? So the Empire was in power, and then, you know, the Jedi weren't. So there was an unbalance there. So Luke was there, and he kind of balanced it again. Do you get what I'm getting at?
I get what 100% what you're getting at, but then I just thought of something just right then, and I just thought, well, what was the actual prophecy, if that makes any sense anyway?
I don't.
You know
Do we ever get to hear the actual prophecy itself?
Because the prophecy was obviously one person was supposed to destroy the Sith, if that makes any sense.
And bring balance to the Force, yeah.
And bring back, but then when you actually think about it, we all get told that, okay, it's going to be Anakin, then it was Luke, and now it turns out to be the granddaughter of Palpatine. You know what I mean? It's just, yeah, it's you know, it's everyone always thought in Star Wars that it was always going to be a Skywalker was the actual prophecy.
Well, I'm sorry, Scarf, but she is a Skywalker.
Well, I'm sorry, she actually is a Palpatine. She's a Palpatine.
Yeah, because like, I don't know if you watched the how it should have ended, you know, things. You know, it's like I think one of them was like, you know, I'm Rey who? Rey Skywalker, and then Luke and Leia just like, hang on, we didn't adopt you. Like, this is how it should have ended. It's like, wait, you just can't take our name. That doesn't work. This is not how the Force works, all right?
You know, but anyway, like, yeah, it is a very, very controversial thing to say, and so, like I say, a lot of people have their own opinions on it. So, yeah, it's always up for debate, if that makes any sense, anyway. So.
No, yeah, I definitely agree. I think, like, we could definitely spend, like, a whole, like, you know, podcast just talking about this subject, like, and that's the part of the reason I love Star Wars. Like, there's always, you know, there's agree to disagree. Like, there's always something to discuss, and, like, you know, everyone's allowed their own point of views. And like I think that's what makes Star Wars great as well. Like it obviously makes it one of the best franchises in the world, obviously because of that.
100% agree with you, my friend.
Yep. So yeah, to answer your question, that's what we think of the Last Jedi.
I think that's half the podcast just on that anyway. So
we just went off a massive tangent there, guys. But I hope you enjoyed it. Let's get a bit more on track and let's move into some YouTube things. Another question from Brody, recent one as well. Says, any tips on streaming and growing your channel?
My channel's still pretty young anyway, so I'm just obviously I haven't put much content lately. I do apologise, I haven't done that recently. So, but again, I haven't been playing much Star Wars as well because I'm still trying to figure out what my channel is going to be, if that makes any sense as well. So,
tip guys, frequent content.
So I might even get people going to my Discord and actually just give me some ideas and tips as well, and see if I can run with them as well. So I'm watching obviously yourselves and other streams. So I'm around the place anyway. So
yeah, of course, and I'll put a link to Scarf's channel in the description below, guys, as well, so you guys can go check him out. But the biggest thing for me, I think, is tips to streaming and growing your channel. Growing your channel is not easy. If you think it's going to happen overnight, it won't. I've been very lucky this year with my channel. Of course, as most of you guys, well, a lot of you guys know, I had to restart my channel just under a year ago now, because YouTube doesn't like me. Didn't like me ever since they screwed up. Of course, all that copper stuff, all that stuff happened. My old channel, basically, I wasn't allowed to stream anymore on it. And you're a gaming channel, you're not allowed to stream. That doesn't really work. So I pretty much had to restart my channel. Of course, it started off. A lot of people came over as well. A lot of people didn't. It started off slow. Of course, we had the this was still when Battlefront 2 was still thriving. Had the Rise of Skywalker update. Got a few more people in, and then everyone got hyped about the Scarf update because we thought we were going to get Jin and Krennic. I know I was talking with you, Scarf, when this was happening as well. I think we just started talking at that point.
Yeah.
Everyone was excited because thought, well, Jin and Krennic are coming. Blah blah blah. It's gonna be great. And then it turns out, sorry guys, that's it. Battlefront is gone. Our vision is complete. It's not complete, mate. Just say it. No, EA just doesn't want us to do it anymore. It was obvious. Obviously it wasn't complete because the hero designers came out and said, "Oh no, we had plans for Ahsoka. We had plans for Padme. We had plans for blah blah blah." It's like,
where are they?
Why?
Yeah, well,
why would you?
They, yeah.
You may as well not tell us because it's just going to make us more angry.
All 100% anyway. So, in my opinion, in regards to EA, this is going to be sounding very controversial anyway. I think just EA should just stick with their sports franchises, if that makes any sense.
No, that's fair enough.
That's just me personally. So tips on streaming and growing your channel, right? See, this is what we do, guys. We go on tangents, and I think it's great anyway. Like I say, to me, obviously, it's just a matter of. I think the biggest tip is obviously if you're going to stream, say Battlefront, because Battlefront's a lot easier to stream than say Marvel, if that makes any sense. I have streamed Marvel as well, and it's actually very hard to concentrate, and then obviously look down on my phone because obviously I've got it set up so I can read the chat on my phone, and then play at the same time. Well, Battlefront, since I'm so used to playing Battlefront, I can easily just look down, if that makes any sense anyway. So it's just a matter of just engaging with the actual chat, if that makes any sense, and try and get good subjects and talk about whatever you want to talk about, you know what I mean?
Exactly. It's more
it's more engaging with the actual subscribers as well too. So
exactly, like I've always thought there's always 4 or 5 things that you need to do, like streaming and stuff. Regular content is definitely at number 1. If you can't do regular content, then do a schedule. so people know when you're going to upload. So if you can't, if you can't do daily uploads, do maybe bi-daily uploads. So one video every 2 days. If you're going to do like one video every week, just set a day and a time so people know what time, so they'll expect it, they'll come to your channel, and like I said, if you can't do consistent content, then that's the best you can do. Of course, if you just want to be streaming, then streaming is a great way to for your channel. Like, streaming is a great way to engage to your viewers, because of course you can make videos, but you're not engaging with your viewers. You obviously have the comment section, but it's not like talking and instant reply, and being engaged with your chat is definitely the one thing. Like, you stream for your chat. I've always said this: you stream for your viewers. If you're just going to stream and ignore your chat, there's no what's the point of streaming? I think Scarf would agree with me on this.
100% anyway. Like the amount of new people I've actually met, even like playing with Star Wars, if you know what I mean. And I just like the banter. You've been on my streams anyway, and it is a laugh. That's what my streams are there for, just to have a laugh and chill out, and don't take things too seriously on my streams, if you know what I mean. It's just a matter of for me, it's just getting that banner out there, having a bit of an opinion, and get people to have their own opinions on there, and every opinion always matters. So that's why I've always been. So no one has the right answer in my stream. Everyone can agree, disagree, and
except Scarf, he's got the right answer, guys.
I've always got the right answer because I am the Sith.
But yeah, so yeah, there you go. Like, and really, it's you learn as you go as well. I've always found out. Like, I'm obviously not the greatest YouTuber out there. I've obviously got a lot more to go, a lot more to grow as well. A lot more to improve my streams as well. Of course, I'm saving up for a PC so I can get better at streaming. Do a better, have better streams going out there as well. But yeah, of course, if you're just starting out, of course, it's going to take a while. Like, I started out, on my old channel back in 2017, with one, my first stream I remember was on Battlefront 2015, and I think I've told this story before, and the online wasn't working at the time, so it was a great time, trying to stream with no online content, but all I could do was I think it was like the arcade missions or whatever it was on Battlefront 2015 at the time, and I had 2 viewers come in for that entire stream, and they both left about after 5 seconds, and I think I may have gotten maybe 1 subscriber off that, if not, if anything, but yeah, it takes time. Like I said, it's not going to happen overnight. Like I said, I've been very lucky this year, it doesn't happen to everyone, but if you're consistent, if you keep going at it, if you don't be discouraged, I think is probably a good thing to say. Don't be discouraged. If I think
if I stop you there, another good bit of advice would be just think small to beat. Yeah, it's an expression. Think small to beat, and have the right mind frame to think small, but then in the long run it's going to be big. Like, think big, but you got to plan to have something small first, because 100% agree with you. It's not going to click the fingers and you're going to get 1,000 subscribers in one night or one day. You just have to think small to have that mentality of it's gonna grow. You know what I mean?
No, exactly. I completely agree. Yeah.
It's a matter about how much time. It's how much you put in. Will get the results for you at the end of the day.
Exactly, and at the end of the day, if you're putting out content that you enjoy and that your viewers enjoy as well, that's the main thing as well. Of course, if you don't like the content that you're putting out, there's no point of doing it. I've always said, if you guys don't enjoy it with the content that I do, then what's the point of me putting it out there? I'm just not gonna, put out content out there that you guys don't enjoy, there's no point. So yeah, that's Any closing thoughts on that one, Scarf? Or
No, I'm fine. I think we've pretty much been a little bit because we're a little older, a little bit wiser. You know what I mean?
Yeah, definitely.
You get that old wise head on our shoulders, if that makes any sense. Anyway, then so
exactly. Like I said, I've gone through 2 channels, 4 name changes, and 3 years, 3 or 4 years. So I definitely have had having to grow my channel twice. It's definitely worked out better on the second time around. That's for sure.
Yeah.
But like I said, at the beginning, it just don't be discouraged. It's probably the best thing I can ask for.
Well,
if you're doing YouTube just to make money, if you're doing YouTube just for the views, if you're doing YouTube just to get the subs, it's not going to happen for you.
It's not going to happen 100% anyway. So
and definitely don't clickbait. That's the one tip I can give you. Do not clickbait, because we frown on the clickbaiters, don't we, Scarf?
100%, mate. 100%.
So yeah, and honestly, guys, I'm sorry, YouTube, you're gonna hate me again, but don't be a dick.
Please.
There's a lot of streamers out there that
Excuse me.
I'm gonna say not nice, and I don't like discouraging other streamers. I don't like talking bad about other streamers, but there are streamers out there who just do it for the money. Who have clickbaited their way to the top, and then are just doing it for the money. And like I said, I'm not going to name names because I'm not like that. But don't be like that, guys. Yeah, that's the simple thing, pretty much. But yeah, that's what I think.
Definitely not getting any disagreement from me, my friend. Anyway, so
no, definitely not. But yeah, guys, I think that's all the time we have for this podcast.
Really?
Well,
could go all night.
I think we'll definitely have Scarf back again. It was a pleasure having you, my dude.
It's only by popular demand. I only come if I'm demanded, if that makes any sense. Anyway,
so if you guys want Scarf to come back in the podcast, you've got to let us know, guys. Got to let us know. Because listen to that voice. Like, how could you not? How could you not?
Righto. Righto.
But we definitely got a lot more to cover, guys. Like I said, we got obviously more Battlefront 2, more Star Wars, more Marvel's Avengers. Of course, me and Scarf are big on that as well at the moment. Of course, Middle Earth, with a lot of things coming out for that. Obviously, when the new series comes out on Amazon, I think a lot of we're probably going to go nuts over it, honestly.
I'm looking forward to it. I'm probably not going to be looking forward to Vision and Scarlet Witch. I'm not looking forward to that, to be honest with you. I'm definitely looking forward to the Black Widow movie, her only movie for Scarlett Johansson. So I'm definitely looking forward for that, and seeing where the next phase is for Marvel. You know what I mean? Because Marvel is, to me, is just. I think, in my opinion, I know you want to finish the podcast, but Marvel is outgrowing Star Wars.
I definitely agree with that.
For the length of time that obviously Star Wars has been around since '77, and it's taken about 40 years to get 8, 9 movies, and look at the amount of movies that Marvel have got now, and that's within the last 20 years. So
yeah, exactly. Well, even less than that, really. But we've definitely got a lot more to talk about, guys. So yeah, if you guys want to see Scarf again, if not, let us know as well.
Let me know.
But if you guys enjoyed it, don't forget to let us know in the comment section below. And like I said, I'll put a link to Scarf's channel in the description below, so we can you guys can go and ask him yourselves, because I know he loves to talk, banter and chat with you guys as well. He streams as well. Don't worry, guys.
I do. I haven't streamed for a while. I haven't done it consistently, so I've got to get back into the grind of doing it again. So,
but
yeah, it's nothing against you guys with my subs anyway. It's just I just got to do it. You know what I mean? I've got to stop panting around. Just got to keep on restarting it again. You know what I mean?
Yeah, pretty much. But yeah, that's all from us, guys. Thank you guys so very much for watching. Hope you guys enjoyed it. We'll be back in another 2 weeks for another podcast. We may have Scarf on again. We'll see. May have some other people on. We'll definitely have to wait and see. But hope you guys enjoyed it. And of course, we have to talk about Mandalorian at some point as well. Maybe when the entire series is over, we might do a podcast just dedication for season 2. I think that could be a lot of fun. What do you think, Scarf?
100% anyway. Definitely anyway. Like, I'm 100% looking forward to next week's episode. So obviously,
which will be episode 4 for those of you guys watching this back.
Yep. So that's definitely an episode worth watching. If the lead up to episode 3, which is this week, obviously will lead into what actually happens next week. So
yeah, definitely. But yeah, that's it from us, guys. Thank you guys so very much for watching. If you guys enjoyed, don't forget to like, comment, and share, and subscribe. Again, thank you guys so very much for watching, and as always, may the Force be with you all, always.